Show you a live look at the scene right now. Investigators say the plane will stay in Colorado Springs overnight. An investigation team will arrive tomorrow morning, or Saturday morning rather, I should say. The Thunderbirds say Air Force pilot Major Alex Turner is all right tonight, but their next show at Kirtland Air Base in New Mexico this weekend is canceled because of the crash in Colorado Springs. That crash happened just after the Air Force Academy graduation near Fountain and Powers, south of the airport. About 1,100 miles away, a Colorado native died after a Blue Angels jet crashed in Tennessee. Marine Captain Jeff Coos is originally from Durango. He was the pilot of a Navy FA-18 jet, part of the Navy's elite Blue Angels flight team. The crash happened near Nashville as they were practicing for an air show. We have live team coverage tonight. Greg Miller has more on Air Force Major Alex Turner and how he likely saved a lot of lives today. But first, KRDO News Channel 13's Emily Allen is talking with witnesses, and she has new information from the crash site tonight. Joins us here in studio. Emily?
James, this has been an unbelievable day for this pilot and for everyone who watched him go down.
I was coming out of my barnyard after I took care of my animals.
Diana Russell watched the Thunderbird soar above her home. She thought she was in for a show.
And I saw the Thunderbirds going across the sky in formation.
And so did Jennifer Davis.
Yeah, I was just loading up the kids in the van and stopped to watch a plane go by.
But within minutes, things went south.
Thunderbird crashed.
And then we saw the explosion and the top came off, and then we saw the parachute.
I thought to myself, he just ejected. That plane's gonna crash. Where is it gonna crash? And as far as I could tell, it was coming toward me, toward my house. But then I saw that it was turning and it was more over the open field.
Russell expected a boom, a blast, anything.
Just stood there waiting for the big fireball that never came.
Instead, Major Alex Turner's jet came to rest in this empty field, a safe spot away from homes and people.
And it looked like somebody had just parked it out there in the field.
The Air Force reports Turner is okay.
Major Turner is in good health.
Law enforcement says Turner's jet had a mechanical issue, but the Air Force will now investigate exactly what malfunctioned. Not only is this jet expensive, it also has military equipment on it. That's why you can see there is a large presence of military personnel and law enforcement. They are guarding this area to make sure that this jet stays secure. Russell says it's too bad the plane went down, but things could have been worse.
The kudos to the pilot, and I'm glad he's okay, and I'm sorry the plane's not, but you know, those things happen.
It's not the showstopper she expected, but she says the ending could have been a lot worse. Now, the Air Force will comb through this field to make sure that nothing associated with this plane is going to be left behind. In the Newsplex, Emily Allen, KRDO News Channel 13.
All right, thanks, Emily. And as you heard, a lot of people praising the pilot for keeping his Thunderbird from hitting homes and people. Major Alex Turner flies the number 6 jet for the Air Force Thunderbirds team. He's logged more than 1,200 flight hours as an Air Force pilot, with more than 270 combat hours over Libya and Iraq. And here's another live look from the scene again that we can give you. Tonight, we're hearing more from the pilot's mother. KRDO News Channel 13's Greg Miller with that.
A crash that could have been so much worse.
Attention South East, be advised we're getting calls for an aircraft emergency at the Glen subdivision on Mesa Ridge Parkway.
When Major Alex Turner's mother in Massachusetts got word his Thunderbird crashed.
I could barely catch my breath. My stomach just dropped. My heart was pounding, and I just broke down. I was just, it's hard, you know, when you know your child's going through something like that. And
agonizing moments before his wife called to say he was okay.
You have to trust that he knows what he's doing, that he has good training and whatnot, but it doesn't stop you when you're a mom. You just worry.
That training, which led him to eject seconds before his Thunderbird went down, paid off. This view inside a Thunderbird cockpit shows the complexities of the maneuvers they endure. The Major underwent screenings and a meeting with President Obama.
The people we talked to who live nearby say it was that pilot's skill, the fact that he could get the Thunderbird down here in this open field instead of their homes, that makes this entire thing an actual miracle.
And when we came around the corner there, the little puff of smoke in the sky wasn't all that much. I don't really know what happened to the airplane. but I was concerned about the pilot.
Jerry Segrist was a navigator for the Air Force decades ago. He lived nearby and says Major Turner should be commended.
I'm convinced that he really is a hero in getting that airplane turned quickly away from this housing area here so that he did not really be instrumental in a tragedy.
Praising the Major as his family waits to see him again.
And out here live at the scene tonight, you can still see the plane is where it has landed as investigators will continue to go through it. The good news, of course, though, is that Major Turner should be just fine, as we saw in that picture, those video from his meeting with the president. He looks like he's doing pretty well. We're live in El Paso County tonight. Greg Miller, KRDO News Channel 13.
Good news there. Thanks so much, Greg. And Colorado Springs Mayor John Suthers out of town tonight, but he released this statement. I am thankful that the pilot ejected safely and was able to maneuver the aircraft to avoid any injuries on the ground. And tonight, we're hearing the controlled chaos the moments emergency dispatchers and first responders got those calls that a plane went down.
Just south of the airport, the RP thought a Thunderbird crashed, pilot ejected. Map is showing near Fontaine. EPSO has been advised. Airport's on the line and occurred 5 miles south of the airport.
No fire at this time. Other fire scenes are, other fire apparatus are on scene. We're going to make contact and give you a further update.
All companies from AMR. Pilot's going to be at Fontaine and Rolling Loop. Putting it in the call screen for you.
I have an aircraft manager here. It says you may have a hydrazine spill. If you approach that aircraft and search civilians, I need you to fully pack out and give me a 360. The pilot is being lifted out of this scene by Army Black Hawk helicopter.
And that hydrazine spill that you heard about, that is a type of fuel that they use to give the jet extra boost when it's coming in for a landing if it needs it. Thankfully, we haven't heard of any problems with that tonight. And we will continue, of course, to follow this story throughout the night over at our website, KRDO.com, and the very latest tomorrow on Good Morning Colorado, which, of course, starts at 4:30.